Excuse me? We're in the middle of a meeting. There's something outside. A lot of people call me Monster too, you know. Forsaken, betrayer of hope, father of light. Do you know why they call me and the other chosen such hideous thing?
No.
Because if they called me what I really am. Part man, part animal. Do I look like a monster to you?
No.
I knew I liked you.
I'm here. One of Fane's dark friends. He must have been one of the men who helped Fane to fall Dara.
Bloody
It's
traitor.
enough. We will bury the slaughtered and follow in the morning.
He was a dark friend.
Does it bother you? All men deserve a proper burial, and I've bestowed this small mercy on him.
Folk in Two Rivers was so kind. And in return for all of that kindness, he brought the Trollocs to our door. There's a rage inside of me. I'm scared that when we finally come face to face, I won't be able to stop myself.
From what?
Killing him.
Perhaps Fane had a reason. You may not like the answer, but you may find it worth asking the question.
Power. It is what every kingdom seeks, what every Aes Sedai covets, what every Forsaken weaponizes. But for Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn, power is not a gift. It is a prison. The irony of Rand's story is that the stronger he becomes, the more alone he is. The boy from the Two Rivers, once surrounded by friends and laughter, finds himself walking a road no one else can follow. Because the burden of saving the world is not just about wielding the one power, it is about sacrificing everything human along the way. Power as a wall between loved ones. At first, Rand clings to those he loves. Egwene, Mat, Perrin, Nynaeve, they are anchors to a simpler life, proof that he is still just Rand al'Thor, Tam's son. But as his abilities grow, that connection frays. When he seizes Saidin, when entire armies fall before him, how can his friends truly understand? How can he laugh with Mat about pranks in Eamon's Field when he carries memories of Luz Theron's Age of Legends? How can he share quiet moments with Egwene when she rises as Amelin's seat, an equal in power but a rival in politics? Every step forward in strength pushes him one step further from the people who once defined him. Even his romances, with Elaine, Avienda, and Min, are poisoned by power. He loves them deeply, yet his presence endangers them constantly. They are targets because of him. Pawns in the pattern's weave. Love becomes another battlefield, every embrace shadowed by fear. In this sense, Rand mirrors mythic heroes like Achilles or Gilgamesh, figures whose might is unparalleled, but whose very greatness isolates them from the mortals around them. The toll of sacrifice. But isolation is not his only burden. It is sacrifice. Repeated, relentless, soul-crushing sacrifice. Rand sacrifices his innocence the moment he accepts that he is the dragon reborn. Gone is the shepherd's dream of a quiet life in the Two Rivers. In its place is a destiny soaked in blood. He sacrifices his freedom when nations demand his allegiance, when every word he speaks becomes a decree that could topple thrones. He becomes a ruler, not by choice, but by necessity, forced into a political game he never wanted to play. He sacrifices his relationships, pushing away those who love him most. Not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much. If the shadow will strike at his heart, then he will guard that heart by hardening it into stone. And perhaps most painfully, he sacrifices his own humanity. To the world, he must be unbreakable, the dragon reborn, the world's only hope. But inside he is fractured, tormented by the voice of Luz Therin, haunted by the taint, teetering on the edge of madness. Yet he cannot show it. Vulnerability would erode confidence, and confidence is the only thing keeping armies marching behind him. In the gathering storm, we see this truth crystallize. Rand becomes the very embodiment of steel, cold and ruthless. He believes that mercy is weakness, that to save the world he must abandon everything that once made him human. It is only on Dragonmount, staring into the abyss of despair, that he realizes the terrible cost. He has nearly destroyed himself before ever reaching the last battle. The Mask of Strength. This need to appear strong is perhaps the cruelest irony of Rand's fate. The world looks at him and sees the dragon, reborn, blazing with light, wielder of unimaginable power. They do not see the young man inside, trembling, desperate for a moment of rest. Every ruler expects him to be a general. Every Aes Sedai expects him to be a weapon. Every soldier expects him to be invincible. How can he ever admit weakness? How can he reveal doubt, fear, or grief when the eyes of nations are upon him? So Rand wears the mask. He becomes harder, more severe, hiding his vulnerability behind the facade of the dragon. The shepherd's smile fades. The laughter of Emond's Field dies. In its place is a man others fear to approach, a man who has buried his true self beneath layers of armor. But readers are allowed to glimpse behind the mask. We see the moments when he falters, when he nearly breaks. We see him standing alone, consumed by grief after battles won at too great a cost. We see him clutching to fragments of Tam's wisdom, of Min's quiet comfort, of memories of the boy he once was. And in those moments, Rand becomes not just a hero, but a tragic figure. Because his greatest victory may not be defeating the Dark One. It may be enduring the crushing solitude of power without losing himself entirely. The tragic beauty of the Dragon Rand story reminds us of a universal truth. Power isolates. Whether in myth, history, or fantasy, those who bear the greatest burdens often stand alone. Kings, prophets, generals. Their decisions shape nations, but they carry those decisions in solitude. Rand al'Thor is all of these at once, and more. He is savior, destroyer, ruler, and weapon. And though the pattern demands it, the toll is immense. The burden of power robs him of laughter, of intimacy, of the simple joys that once defined him. Yet it also forges him into something greater. A man who understands, perhaps better than anyone, the price of sacrifice. So when we think of Rand, let us not only remember the blazing moments of Jory, the cleansing of Saidin, the uniting of nations, the final confrontation with the Dark One. Let us also remember the loneliness in his eyes, the sacrifices no one saw, the mask of strength he wore for a world too desperate to allow him to be weak. Because the wheel of time does not give us a perfect hero. It gives us a man, burdened, isolated, and scarred, who carries the weight of power even when it threatens to break him. And in that burden lies his true greatness.